Chapter 13, externalities. When we talk about externalities, we're talking about the action or inaction of a firm or an individual or government that becomes a benefit to third party or a cost to the third party. So we call it the third party because the third party, he or she or they do not have any say. They did not take part in that action. They were not part of the settings. They were not part of the decision that was taking place. But now it becomes a benefit to them, or it's beneficial to them, or it becomes a cost to them. So if it is external cost, if it is a cost, it is external. That's negative externality. If it is benefit, it is external benefits, which is positive externality. So let's just go down and see what they've written. External cost of production. Are you there? Some production activity results in costs that are incurred by third parties. Third parties are people outside the business. They are neither owners nor employees. They may be individuals such as local residents, organizations, and property owners, or a resource, such as a river. These external costs are spillover effects of production. In getting started, the effect of emission discharged by the waste management company was an example of an external cost. So they made an example here of external cost, which is emission, carbon emission. That's pollution, is an external cost because it happens with those who are not involved. It's the firm, it's the business that emits carbon, not the individual or the community or the society, but they will be part of those that will inhale pollution or inhale polluted air.
They're the ones affected.
So it's going to affect the firms too, but it's going to affect the firms, or it is private today. So whatever happens to them is private. But we're talking about your cost of production. It's cost of production, but it is externality because we are not part of that company. So examples of externalities are this: resource depletion, that's used up resources. Why is used up resources or resource depletion an external cost? It's an external cost because it means that the actions of those that took it, those that take part, would have affected the future generation. So those that are coming after us will not be able to get these resources because they are finished already. So the activities of businesses have made resources to finish. So those coming after us won't be able to find it. That's resource depletion. Noise pollution, like aeroplane. Air pollution. Okay, yeah, noise pollution could be music, sound. Air pollution could be aeroplane, could be carbon emission. Water pollution, that's from sewages or dumping something, whatever you dump in the river.
Toxic stuff.
Toxic, yeah. Overcrowding. You know what overcrowding means? The population is, the space that is available is less than the population there. This could be as a result of, this is Tripoli, right? So there are a lot of businesses in Tripoli. As a result, a lot of people come trooping to Tripoli to work in Tripoli. Tripoli might become overcrowded. So that means the space available is not enough for the people in there. That is overcrowding. That is also an external cost. Do you get it now? Traffic congestion. Yeah, traffic. Those that have cars, they are the ones causing traffic. So for those who don't have a car, it becomes a problem for them. They find it difficult to get to wherever they want to get to at any point in time. So these are all external costs. Any question about that?
Clear.
So we'll move on. That's external cost of production. Now we go to external benefit of consumption. The consumption of certain goods can have positive spillover effects. These are called external benefits and might be enjoyed by third parties such as individuals, organizations, and communities. Some examples of external benefits are outlined. One, education. For education, this education will clearly benefit those who attend schools, universities, and colleges. They are likely to get better jobs. That is a private benefit. Earn money, it's a private benefit, and enjoy a better quality of life. It's a private benefit. However, education can also benefit the wider society. Now, when you look at education in the aspect of the society, if you are educated, maybe you become an accountant, or you become a lawyer, or you become a doctor, a lot of people would come to you for services, yes or no? So your education has allowed you to be able to service those people.
Beneficial to others.
So that is external cost. Do you get it?
External benefit.
External benefit, thank you. That would be external benefit. Do you understand? So that is external benefit of education. So this is because if people are well educated, they may do highly skilled and socially useful jobs, such as doctors, teachers, and the rest. As a result, productivity will be higher and the standard of living for society as a whole will rise. It could also be argued that the higher levels of individual education with lower unemployment improve household mobility and raise rates of political participation, all of which will benefit the wider society. So education is not just going to be a private benefit, it also involves the society. So at the end of it all, it involves private benefit and
Social.
external benefit, which is social benefit. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Another external benefit is healthcare. Individuals that consume healthcare will benefit if their own personal health improves. They will feel less pain, can return to work and enjoy life more. However, the consumption of healthcare by an individual can also benefit third parties. For example, if people are healthier, they are able to work more effectively, making contributions to economic output and paying taxes. This will benefit the wider society. So, having a good health means you are strong, you are agile, you can contribute to the economic activity of the country, and that will increase the output. So,
Production levels.
what?
It will increase the production levels as well.
Yeah, it will increase it. So, healthcare, when you look at it, having access to better healthcare is not a private benefit, it's a social benefit.
Social benefit.
Because at the end of it all, that individual that have accessibility to healthcare makes him look younger, better, smarter, agile. That means he will be able to work and healthier. He will be able to work. And being able to work means you are going to be part of those that will increase the GDP of the economy. So that's about healthcare. Vaccination. For vaccination, if an individual receives an injection to protect against an infection disease, he or she benefits directly. That's private cost. Private benefit, sorry. This is obviously beneficial to the individual, but third parties will also benefit. How? This is because if more individuals are given vaccination to prevent infection, the likeliness of others who do not get vaccinated contracting disease is lower. So this is because the number of people who might pass on this disease is reduced because they have been vaccinated. So vaccination is more of external, which is social benefit, because if you are vaccinated, it means you won't contact the disease and you won't be passing the disease to someone else.
And you won't get the disease from it.
And you won't get it from someone else. So that means the rate at which the disease will be contracted reduces. So that's the social benefit there.
Isn't healthcare and vaccination basically the same thing?
No, vaccination is injection. Healthcare is, it's not the same as vaccination.
Vaccination is a part of healthcare.
Vaccination is preventing you, injection that prevents you from having a disease. Healthcare is taking care of your well-being. It's not the same. It's not the same. So that is social cost. Now we go to social cost. They said the production of consumption of a good will have costs that can be divided into private costs and external costs. Those who consume or produce a good meet private costs. For example, the private cost of it to a smoker might be the $100 per month that is spent on cigarettes. The external cost will be the discomfort and health risk that a third party might be exposed to as a result of inhaling cigarette smoke. So, production or consumption of a good will bring about private cost, private benefit, social cost, social benefit. But here we are focusing on social cost. So if as soon as a product is produced or consumed, there's going to be private cost or social cost. So the difference between private cost and social cost is the external cost. So the private cost is that cost to the thought, the cost to the action, to the person that takes the action, to the government that takes the action, or to the firms that took the action. That is the private cost. So we that will partake in that action that we didn't make decision about, or we are not involved, we are the extra. That is an external cost. So external cost plus private cost gives us the social cost. Clear? They made example of a smoker here. A smoker will incur private cost based on the amount he or she spent on cigarettes. But those that are beside him or that are surrounded by him, might inhale it, putting their health at risk. So if they are finally their health becomes deteriorated as a result of inhaling smoke from the cigarette, that is an external cost. Is it clear?
Yeah.
That is in production. In production, the private cost to a property developer of building it's the same anyway, but let me just read this. It said in production, the private cost to a property developer of building a retail center might be the 220 million financial cost of the project. The external cost might include the noise generated from development site during construction, congestion caused in the local area by construction vehicles, the cost, okay, now,
This congestion is like emissions.
no, congestion means shocking, not movement, not, there's no free movement. Things are not moving slowly, things are not flow. That is congestion.
And things are packed.
Yeah, things are slow, sluggish, due to maybe so much population, so much people, so much promoters. So if you are trying to build a building or a house or whatever you have to build, you incur a cost, which is the private cost, the cost of the building. In the cost of building that building, machinery will be used, equipment will be used, a lot of people will be coming to the site. All these things will incur cost to the third party. So that is external cost. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So the cost to the society as a whole of an economic activity is called the social cost, which is private cost plus external cost. Clear? So go to social benefits. The social benefit, the production or consumption of a good will also have benefits that can be divided into private benefits and external benefits. Those who produce or consume a good enjoy private benefits in getting started. The private benefit of, no, let's forget about the story. So for social benefits, it implies private benefit plus external benefits, which is positive externalities. So the action, the taker of that action will have a private benefit. Those third parties that were not involved in that action or decision will have external benefits. The combination of both gives us social benefits. Is it clear? That's all about that. We move on. Government policies to deal with externalities are there. A government will want to discourage economic activity that results in negative externalities and encourage those that result in positive externalities. How can this be done? The government of the country, the government of the nation wants to improve quality of service. They want to make the society a better place. So they have to put into consideration cost benefits analysis. We call it cost benefit analysis, where they put into consideration the cost of the action, the cost of production, and the cost of the benefit of the production. The cost of the action, the benefit of the action. That is what government put into consideration. So if government has to take decision, government would think about external cost and social cost and social benefits. So if social cost increases, if the cost of taking that action is more than the benefit of taking that action, government would want to discourage such situation. Government would want to stop it. So it means government would always want to encourage decisions or productions or consumptions that involve private benefits. Benefits.
Yeah.
And they want to discourage actions, decisions, productions, consumptions that brings about negative externalities.
Don't intervene to stop these.
Do you get the point there?
Yes.
So how will government come into discourage or encourage private benefit or positive externalities and discourage negative externalities? One, through taxation. Taxation can be used to reduce external costs of production. For example, if a tax is imposed on a chemical firm that produces damaging emissions, production costs will increase and the prices charged by the firm will rise. This should result in a fall in demand for the firm's product and therefore a reduction in pollution. So if government wants to reduce pollution by firms that pollute or emit carbon, government will increase taxation. So if government increases taxation, this increases the cost of production for those firms. As soon as the cost of production increases for those firms, the price of the goods and or whatever they produce will rise. And based on the law of demand, as soon as price rises, consumers tend to buy less. So demand for their product will fall. And if the demand for the product falls, firms will not have the zeal, the incentive to produce more. Output will fall. That means carbon emission would fall. Is it clear?
Yeah.
That's for taxation. So government has discouraged externalities, negative externalities. Is it clear?
Yeah.
All right. We go to subsidies. For subsidies are used to encourage positive externalities. So the government can offer money such as subsidies and other financial rewards to firms as an incentive to reduce external costs. For example, a firm might receive a subsidy if it builds a plastic recycling plant. This might encourage households and firms to recycle their plastic waste instead of dumping it. The government can also give subsidies to firms that generate external benefits. For example, some governments around the world have given subsidies to the producers of solar energy. This results in an increase in the supply of solar energy, which should stimulate more demand. If more solar energy is used to generate power, then less dirty energy will be produced, which will benefit the environment. Subsidy, that's about subsidy, so I'm not going to dwell so further. For subsidy can be used to reduce cost of production. So if subsidy is used to reduce cost of production, that means firms will be willing to produce more because their cost of production has fallen. Government will do this to encourage the consumption and production of goods that are merit goods. And what are merit goods? Merit goods are goods that without government intervention, we cannot consume them. So government might use that to encourage it. Government might use it to encourage the consumption of the basic needs. Do you get what I'm talking about here? So whatever government wants to do, subsidy will allow government. Subsidy is just like an incentive to encourage people to do better. Do you get incentive here?
Yes.
So government come up with it so that firms would have a breathing space. So their cost of production would fall. They will be encouraged. They will be motivated to do more. That is for subsidies. Is it clear? Is it clear? Not really. I'll explain again. Subsidy is a financial help from government, as you know, okay? There's external cost and there's external benefits. That is, external benefit is seen as positive externality or positive spillover. External cost is the same as negative spillover or negative externality. Now, the focus here is government will not give you money. Government will not help you financially if you cannot add value to the society. Government will not give you money. There's no free money. So if government is focusing on giving you certain things,
They want something back.
they want or they believe you can make the society a better place. So subsidy comes into place. So with subsidies, the cost of production for firms would fall because subsidy act as a financial help to firms. So what is a financial help? A help that allows you to have a breathing space, help that reduces your cost of production. So as soon as your cost of production reduces, you can produce more. Why are you going to be able to produce more? You'll be able to produce more because the price of your product would fall. Demand would rise. As a result, demand for your product will increase. That would increase your output. So if government wants to encourage production of certain goods or consumption of certain goods, government will come up with subsidy. Because when government comes up with subsidy, price of goods and services will fall. Consumption would rise. As soon as consumption rises, firms will have to produce more to meet up with the demand that is increasing.
Production will rise.
Production will rise. Is it clear?
Yes. The proportion, that is, so the production will rise, consumption will rise.
Yes. Fines. When we talk about fines, these are penalties, financial penalties for non-compliance. Financial penalty for non-compliance.
Breaking the rules.
Yes. So to reduce external costs, government might come up with different fines for those who do not comply. Do you understand that? That's about that. Government regulations. Another way which government can encourage positive externality and discourage negative externality is through laws, legislation. So government will come up with laws that make negative externalities, that make those actions that you do that brings about negative externalities to become illegal. Did you get what I just said? No.
They add more laws, make specific laws for externalities.
You know, we said there's government, there's externality, positive spillover, negative spillover. These things, government for positive spillover, government wants to encourage it because it's a benefit to the society as a whole. For negative spillover, government wants to discourage it because it's a cost to the society. One way to do that is by taxation, subsidies, fines, and now government regulation. For government regulation, there are laws, legislations that government will come up with. Government will come up with laws that would make those negative spillover to become illegal. So, government cannot just say you are doing the wrong thing. So there should be a law. They have to enact a law that would back whatever they are saying. So you doing it without a law saying you shouldn't do it, you are not going to be a culprit. Nobody's going to hold you for that. You're not going to be held responsible for that. But if government wants to make something, government wants to come up with a regulation, government will come up with that regulation to make that action that they do not want to become illegal.
And even if they do, they'll get fined.
Yes, but you wouldn't want to do it anymore because the law says you shouldn't do it.
Yes, yes.
Do you understand now? So for regulations, government will come up with laws to make those actions of yours that brings about negative spillover or negative externality to become illegal. So that means the law doesn't want it, the law of the country doesn't want it. That's another way to encourage or to discourage externalities. Is it clear? The next one is pollution permits. For pollution permits, what does it mean? It means government would give you a limit on what you can emit in terms of carbon. So as soon as you have the license to pollute the air, so it is this way that it works. The government of the country would have the maximum of pollution that the economy or the country can handle for a certain period of time. So they wouldn't sell more than that volume to everybody. They wouldn't sell less than, they wouldn't sell more. So that means all businesses that emit carbon would have to buy those proportion that is being set aside to pollute. So as soon as you as a firm finish using your pollution permits, you cannot get another from government because government has set a limit to it. The only place you could get further is from other firms that have not used theirs, because the economy must not pollute more than what is being accepted to pollute. So there's no extra from government. There's no any extra pollution or permit. So it means you can only get from those firms, those businesses that have not used up theirs. Because at the end of it all, the total pollution must be certain pollution volume that has been designed and determined by the government. Do you understand pollution permit? Yes. That means you have a license to pollute the air. You have a license to pollute for pollution.
But there's a limit.
There's a limit. As soon as you are done with that, you can't get further from government, or you can get from firms or businesses that have not used theirs.
If you overdo it,
you cannot. Yes, if you're doing more, you can't even try to do more, because if you do more, you pay for it.
Yes,
You get fined.
Yeah.
Is it clear? So these are ways in which government would try to reduce negative externalities. Now we'll go to the multiple choice question. Which of the following is an example of an external cause resulting from production?
See,
Great.
Noise pollution from aircraft.
Great.
Yeah.
Question 2. Which of the following represents social cost?
Private cost plus external cost.
Thank you. We're done with chapter 11.
Yeah.
No, chapter
13.
13, externalities.